So I'm going to go ahead and highlight certain aspects of R. So this is after you've downloaded R for beginners. You know, there's a couple of things to take note of. When you first downloaded it, you would have noticed your consoles on your left. You have this history connections on your right, environment, files, plots, package, help, and viewer on your right as well. So you don't know what anything is. I understand that. But I'm going to make this easy for you. So in the console, you're able to do all your calculations. So if I wanted to do 8 plus 3, I can do that. That's cool. If I wanted to do 7 minus 6, I can do that. So essentially, it's a calculator. It's a nice fancy calculator, and my history stores all my calculations. Okay. And so with me, I typically want to have my console on my right. Okay, meaning that like whatever I type is going to be on my right. So you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. And I like to be able to edit what I'm going to do on my left. And you'll see what I mean by that. So what you're going to do is click this panel called Workspace Panes and click this and then click on console to right. So I was going to move my console to the right. Okay, so you can see now my console is on my right. I'm just going to drag this a little bit and I'm going to make this full screen and my console to my right. And then here, I'm going to drag this down, open this box up. And here is this untitled. This is my document, okay? So this allows me to essentially write code here, as in, let's say I wanted to do 5 or 4 plus 5, and I wanted to run it in the console. You don't have to copy and paste it. All you have to do is, if you are a Windows user, you can press Control Enter. Okay, and you can see the calculation there. Or if you make the cursor, so one of the things I didn't say is that you need to make sure the cursor is on that line. So you make sure if your cursor is on that line, all you have to do is then, another way of running it is to click this run button and you're good. Okay, so that's nice to know. Another thing to note in terms of beginning in R is, I spoke about this in the previous video, that you can change your color, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's a nice little thing to note. So if you were to take tools, go to tools, go to global options, and go to appearance. Okay, you can change the color. I typically like to have a dark background, so go to twilight. That's okay, that works. Okay, and so say for example you want to zoom in so you can see more text. If you are a Windows user, you would use Control Shift plus and you can zoom in a tab bit more so you can see more. So some of the cool things that you can do in R is like store variables or R variables. What that means is that you can say, let's say cost is equal to 4, and I can run this line and 4 is going to be stored into cost. So if I were to do 5 times cost, what should this give me? It should give me 20. Okay, so you can do little fun things like that. Another thing to note is that in terms of storing information, you can store information into something that's called a vector. And a vector is essentially a list of all items. So the idea behind that is to store it within a function, and this function is called C. And you have 2, 3, 4. So you're gonna space out your elements, or you're gonna have elements in it, but then they're gonna be broken down or at least spaced out by commas. So if I do different prices are different, okay, prices, okay, and I press run, different prices is going to be stored. Okay, that's a nice thing to note. In terms of variables or R variables, you have to note that there's no space in between these two. You have to have some type of continuation, so take note of that. And then watch something kind of cool with R here is if I start to type diff underscore price, it shows up. I press enter, and let's say I wanted to multiply each one of these numbers by 3, I should get 6, 9, and 12. When I run this, 6, 9, and 12. So you can do really fun, cool things in R. Yeah, so